Welcome to the Essentially You podcast, where we explore the science of happiness and well-being to help coaches and coaching leaders bring out the best in themselves and those they serve. If you're looking for new approaches to serve your clients or looking to create a culture of positivity and well-being in your organization, join me, Mark Mathia, on a journey of discovery and inspiration. There are no guarantees in life, and certainly not business. Now, that's a hard pill to swallow for coaches and coaching leaders. You know, those of us who wish to help others advance their careers while they gain new levels of confidence in themselves. But every once in a while, business puts us in a spot so tricky that it feels like we're drowning in challenges with no shore to swim toward. In that moment, we find ourselves, we find our voice, and our legacy begins. In turbulent times, bringing a growth mindset to crisis management can be the difference between success and failure, between focused effort and the dreaded scramble. By the way, the scramble is when our amygdala becomes hijacked and we begin to dwell only on the challenges. It's the feeling of swimming at sea with no shore in sight. A growth mindset is a powerful concept that believes something different. It believes that intelligence and abilities are not fixed traits, but something that can be improved on through dedication and hard work. And I learned a lot about this mindset. It was introduced to me by Carol Dweck, a renowned psychologist and professor at Stanford University who spent over 30 years researching the concept of mindset. Her groundbreaking work on growth mindset has transformed how we think about intelligence, abilities, and achievement. Dweck's research has shown that individuals who believe in the power of growth and effort outperform those who believe in fixed traits such as talent or intelligence. You know, you're born with it or you're not. Her work has inspired educators, coaches like us, and leaders to adopt growth mindset principles and create supportive environments that foster learning, development, and innovation. And bringing a growth mindset to crisis management allows us to see that challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to do things like learn, grow, and improve. It helps us to focus on solutions rather than the problems and to remain optimistic in the face of heavy adversity. Now, what's the best possible outcome? One of my favorite things to ask. And when approaching crisis with a growth mindset, we can inspire and motivate our team to work towards a common goal. We can encourage them to see failure as necessary steps towards success rather than something to be feared or avoided. As coaches and coaching leaders, we must consider that we need to lead by example. You know, we need to actively demonstrate these growth mindset principles kind of in action. We can work towards developing our skills and abilities continuously, learning and improving, and, well, showcasing this process to our team. But I know what you're going to ask. You're like, Mark, but how? Well, that's a great question. Let me give you a few ideas. One, embrace challenges. You know, we can transition from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset by embracing challenges and viewing them as opportunities for growth and development. By recognizing that challenges are necessary for growth and learning, a leader can begin to shift perspective. Here's a pro tip. Remember, through crisis, you need to continue to serve the vision and mission of the business. We can't let the crisis take our eye off the ball. Number two, learn from mistakes. Learning from mistakes can help us develop a growth mindset. It's probably the fastest way there. By recognizing that mistakes are opportunities for learning and improvement, we can develop resilience and perseverance. My pro tip for this is simply ask that question. Ask what's the best possible outcome before you begin planning the strategy. Just to survive. Instead of working to survive, work for something greater. Remember the vision in the fix. This will help ensure that our vision is large enough to work for and to see us through any problems. The third one is seek out feedback. And we can transition from a fix to a growth mindset by seeking input from trusted others. As leaders, we can learn from our mistakes and we can continue improving if we're open to constructive criticism and feedback. My pro tip here, don't cancel your coaching sessions so you can ramble through the scramble in your brain. Take time for self-care and reflection, even in the middle of that crisis, if you can. Number 4, focus on progress, not perfection. You perfectionists out there, I hope you heard that. As coaching leaders, we can develop a growth mindset by focusing on progress rather than perfection. It's why we chunk things up into manageable stages and steps, because recognizing that growth is a continuous process allows us to celebrate small victories and view setbacks as opportunities to learn and improve. So here's the deal. My pro tip for this is identify people's strengths in the moment and bring attention to them. You're going to see all kinds of things during a crisis, but recognize those who are doing something right and remind them that they're doing something right. Okay. Continuously learn and develop is the 5th one I'll offer you. And a leader can transition from a fixed to growth mindset by continuously learning and developing skills and new abilities, by seeking out new challenges, expanding our knowledge, and investing in our personal and professional development. We can inspire our team to do the same. Here's a pro tip. I love this one. Prepare before the crisis hits. Just because it's going well, don't stop learning. Practice these principles and do your homework in how you can be ready. And that way you can be ready when you're called upon to lead. A growth mindset allows us to remain flexible and adaptable during crisis. We can analyze and assess the situation and adjust our plans and strategies accordingly. We can also encourage our team to take appropriate risks, experiment when necessary, and learn from the mistakes along the way in a safe and supportive way. An example of this is the famous Nelson Mandela, who as a leader utilized a growth mindset to lead successfully despite being imprisoned for 27 years. He did not relinquish his beliefs. Instead, he used this time in prison to learn and grow, mastering several languages and becoming an expert on the history and culture of his people. He also embraced the idea of forgiveness and reconciliation, which helped him successfully lead South Africa out of apartheid and into a new area of democracy. Mandela's growth mindset allowed him to overcome adversity, learn from his experiences, and ultimately achieve his goals. Now, the benefits of growth mindset in crisis management are crystal clear. It fosters resilience, innovation, and a sense of empowerment amongst the team. It allows us to transform challenging situations into opportunities for growth and development for ourselves and the team. As coaches and coaching leaders, bringing a growth mindset to crisis management is important. Pulling out of or avoiding the scramble and staying clear, aligned, and focused on the mission will help minimize the needless worry and fear that tends to take over our minds. And by the way, worry and fear aren't bad things. We just need the right amount at the right time to call us to action, and then we need to have full control over our faculty. However, a strong mental state enables us to remain positive and motivated in the face of adversity. It fosters teamwork and flexibility and ultimately leads to better outcome for those we serve. Now, let's get after it as our work awaits. And I hope you know this by now, my friends. I hope you know. I'm cheering for you. And now it's your turn to get out there and thrive in life. If you've liked what you've learned, would you consider subscribing to this podcast and leaving a review? I'd really appreciate it. And if you have anything you would like addressed, you can reach out to me, Mark Mathia, at mark@markmathia.com. And until next week, I'm cheering for you.